Triple H, WWE. Two names that define modern wrestling. Since taking over creative control in 2022, he promised a revolution, fresh stars, epic matches, and a new era. And at first, it worked. NXT thrived. Fans cheered. Hope returned. But somewhere along the way, opinions started to split. Decisions that should have unified the fanbase instead sparked fierce debates and triggered passionate reactions on both sides. Today, we're counting down the 10 most controversial decisions Triple H made in WWE, the ones that left audiences divided, debating, and picking sides. And trust me, number 1 involves decisions about legends that fans are still arguing about. Hit subscribe and stay with us, because when it comes to wrestling opinions, everyone's got something to say. 10. The music revolution that missed the mark. WWE entrances used to hit hard, iconic theme songs, instant recognition, pure hype. But when Triple H's regime continued working with Def Rebel for music production, the reaction remained mixed. Big names walked out to themes that crowds didn't recognize or couldn't sing along to. Comments flooded in calling newer music forgettable, generic, and lacking soul. Even wrestlers reportedly expressed concerns backstage. Classic, beloved themes were sometimes replaced with tracks that failed to capture what made the original special. Fans created petitions, YouTube compilations comparing old versus new, and endless forum threads. The controversy around entrance music became one of the most consistent complaints, showing that sometimes the smallest details matter most when it comes to fan connection. 9. Royal Rumble 2024, Business Success, Creative Debate. Royal Rumble 2024 should have been straightforward. WWE delivered strong attendance and business metrics. But despite the success, fan reception told a different story. Social media exploded with divided opinions about the winners and booking choices. The men's winner felt predictable to many fans. Online communities erupted with debates about whether the outcomes served the best long-term storylines. The disconnect was fascinating. WWE executives celebrated solid metrics while portions of the fanbase expressed disappointment. Some fans felt the booking played it safe rather than delivering shocking unpredictability. Was this simply impossible to please internet fans? Or did WWE prioritize safe booking over creative risks? The Royal Rumble 2024 proved that success isn't always measured in universal approval. 8. Crown Jewel Saudi Events, Controversy Never Ends. WWE's continued partnership with Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel events remained controversial throughout Triple H's tenure. These premium events came with massive financial benefits but ongoing ethical debates. Critics questioned WWE's relationship with the Saudi government given human rights concerns. Some fans boycotted these events entirely. Others argued that WWE was simply doing business globally like any major company. The events themselves often felt disconnected from ongoing storylines. Big matches happened, then were rarely mentioned again. Special attractions rather than meaningful story progression. Social media filled with frustrated posts during each Crown Jewel cycle. When controversy overshadows the wrestling itself, it becomes a distraction rather than a destination. 7. The Bloodline Saga, Brilliant or Exhausting? The Bloodline storyline involving Roman Reigns became Triple H's flagship narrative, running for over 3 years and dominating WWE programming. And here's where opinions fracture completely. On one side, fans who called it generational storytelling, a masterclass in character development. Roman Reigns' heel championship reign became legendary, creating genuine stars like Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa. On the other side, exhausted viewers who felt the storyline overstayed its welcome and dominated too much screen time. Every episode of SmackDown seemed to revolve around bloodline drama while other talented wrestlers struggled for meaningful airtime. Forums exploded with debates. This is what wrestling should be, the versus move on already. Some fans praised the patience and long-term planning. Others argued that so much focus on one storyline came at the expense of roster depth and variety. Did Triple H create a modern epic, or did he put too many eggs in one storytelling basket? 3 years later, fans still can't agree. 6. Legend returns, nostalgia goldmine or spotlight thief? Triple H understood that nostalgia sells tickets and generates social media buzz. Throughout 2023 to 2024, legends returned frequently. But for every successful return that felt earned, others seemed random or rushed. Icons would appear for a single segment and vanish without contributing to ongoing storylines. Current roster members started expressing frustration online. Why develop new stars when nostalgia acts could generate the same response with less effort? Social media became divided. Casual fans loved seeing childhood favorites. Hardcore fans argued it undermined long-term character development. Why bring them back if there's no payoff, became a common complaint. When every third show features a surprise return, surprises stop being surprising. When legends overshadow current storylines rather than enhancing them, it becomes a crutch rather than a special attraction. Was Triple H honoring WWE's legacy, or leaning too heavily on the past at the expense of building the future? 5. The trust problem, when swerves become predictable. Wrestling is scripted entertainment built on suspension of disbelief. That delicate balance requires trust. Triple H's regime faced growing criticism for testing that trust too frequently. Retirement teases that everyone knew weren't real. Injury angles that felt manipulative. Dream matches teased through social media that either didn't happen or underwhelmed. The pattern emerged: WWE would build anticipation, then deliver something different, leaving fans feeling misled. Online communities became increasingly skeptical of WWE announcements, responding to major reveals with "I'll believe it when I see it" rather than genuine excitement. There's a difference between a well-executed swerve and repeatedly crying wolf until nobody takes announcements seriously. Once trust erodes, rebuilding it takes far longer than breaking it did. The foundation of wrestling is making people care, and that requires trust. 4. The micromanagement question: too much control? When Triple H took over WWE Creative in 2022, fans celebrated. But as time passed, questions emerged. Was one person trying to control too much? Creative direction, talent relations, developmental oversight, branding decisions, the scope seemed impossibly broad. Shows began showing signs of inconsistency. NXT call-ups lost momentum. Promising storylines would start strong then fizzle without satisfying payoffs. This wasn't about Triple H's competence, his track record spoke for itself. This was about realistic bandwidth. Running creative for multiple shows, managing talent relationships, and handling corporate expectations simultaneously creates inevitable gaps. The WWE machine is massive: Raw, SmackDown, NXT, premium live events, international tours. Corporate WWE might have unwittingly set up even their best creative leader for an impossible task by consolidating so much responsibility. The question wasn't whether Triple H cared, it was whether the job as structured was achievable for any single person. 3. Celebrity integration, enhancement, or distraction? Celebrity appearances in wrestling aren't new. When done right, celebrities can elevate wrestling to mainstream attention. Triple H's WWE continued this tradition, but frequency and execution matter. Some fans appreciated celebrities bringing outside attention to WWE. Logan Paul's matches received genuine praise for his athleticism. Bad Bunny's performances impressed even skeptics. However, other portions of the fanbase grew frustrated. "Where are the full-time wrestlers?" trended multiple times when celebrities dominated premium segments. Storylines seemed to pivot around celebrity schedules rather than long-term character development. The criticism wasn't about all celebrity involvement, it was about balance. When celebrities seemed like the entire point of a segment, overshadowing the full-time roster, resentment built. Should WWE be primarily a wrestling company that occasionally features celebrities, or an entertainment platform where celebrities and wrestlers share equal spotlight? Under Triple H, the lines seemed to blur. 2. WrestleMania 40, record success, creative questions. WrestleMania 40 became one of WWE's most successful events. The numbers were impressive: massive attendance across 2 nights, strong viewership, and significant merchandise sales. By many corporate measures, WrestleMania 40 was a triumph. But financial success and creative satisfaction don't always align. Despite strong numbers, portions of the fanbase had mixed feelings about how stories unfolded. The Rock's involvement dominated discourse. Some loved seeing him return for a major role. Others felt it overshadowed the journey of full-time wrestlers. The eventual outcome satisfied many, but the path to get there frustrated others. Online discourse revealed divides. Casual fans enjoyed the spectacle. But dedicated wrestling communities questioned whether the execution could have been tighter, whether certain moments truly felt WrestleMania-worthy. WWE executives celebrated significant business success. Yet wrestling communities debated whether the creative execution fully matched the business achievement. What makes WrestleMania successful? Record-breaking revenue? Or creative storytelling that lives in fan memory for decades? WrestleMania 40 suggested both don't always perfectly align. 1. Cody Rhodes' push, earned Coronation or forced narrative? Finally, the most divisive topic under Triple H's regime: Cody Rhodes' mega push. WWE had invested heavily in Cody since his 2022 return, building toward his championship coronation. The Finish the Story narrative dominated WWE programming for nearly 2 years. Cody won back-to-back Royal Rumbles, 2023, 2024, and finally captured the championship at WrestleMania 40. Business metrics supported the push, strong ratings when Cody appeared, merchandise sales, social media engagement. But opinions fractured dramatically about whether it felt organic or forced. Some fans celebrated Cody's journey as the perfect redemption story. Others felt the narrative was repetitive and took too long to pay off. The biggest criticism? So much focus on one person's story meant less development for other deserving wrestlers. Critics argued WWE telegraphed every move so far in advance that nothing felt surprising. 2 years of "will he finish the story" became exhausting rather than compelling for some viewers. Where was the doubt? Where was the earned struggle when everyone knew the destination? Supporters countered that long-term storytelling requires patience and that Cody's popularity proved the push was working. The debate continues in late 2024. Was this Triple H's masterpiece of patient storytelling? Or was it a 2-year commercial for one wrestler that could have been told in half the time? Cody's push became symbolic of larger questions. Does Triple H favor certain wrestlers too obviously? Does WWE book with too much predictability? The Cody Rhodes experiment might define how we view this entire era. From controversial music changes to polarizing pushes, Triple H's WWE has been nothing if not divisive. Business metrics show significant success, strong revenues, solid attendance. Yet creative debates rage online. Was he a revolutionary who elevated WWE to new heights? Or a manager who made questionable creative choices despite business success? Fans still argue, debates still rage, and the story continues evolving. But there you have it, 10 controversial decisions that divided the WWE universe. Some call them disasters. Others call them necessary evolution. The truth probably lives somewhere in between. Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit like, and subscribe to keep the discussion alive. Because in wrestling, the debate never really ends.